Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the final puzzle from the 2015 Round 6 set from the World Puzzle Federation. This was the pack set by Czech Republic puzzle creators, and this puzzle is a Skyscraper Sudoku that was set by Jakub Rezdira. I've butchered these names every single time. Now, this was an 80-point puzzle, so this is one of the hardest, if not the hardest puzzle by points that was in the pack. And it is using a moderately standard constraint, which is the skyscraper constraint, but it is a tricky one to understand. So I will probably spend a little bit longer going through the rules to make sure that it's clear, because even I struggle. I've done a lot of skyscraper puzzles and I still struggle with them. Now, in the description below, there'll be a link to this puzzle as well as to the entire World Puzzle Federation archive. So that's where you can go for that information. Now, the thing with Skyscraper is there is a Skyscraper technique in Sudoku, and there is also the Skyscraper rule set. So this is the Skyscraper rule set, not the Skyscraper technique. And that often gets people confused as well. When people talk about, oh, it's a Skyscraper Sudoku. It's like, so it uses skyscrapers in the solving. No, this is a completely different thing. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then there's the Skyscraper constraint. So I'll use the rules as written here. Each number in the grid represents the height of a building, and the clues out, on the outside of the grid indicate how many buildings can be seen when looking from that direction. Taller buildings block the view of smaller buildings. E.g., if a row contained the numbers, there's no row where, I could write it in here. If a row contained the numbers 1, 6, 9, 7, 8, 2, 3, 5, 4, and I'll turn off the conflict checker for this. I do like to keep the conflict checker on for doing these, but I'll turn it off. Then 3 buildings are seen from the left because we see 1, we see 6, we see 9, and then all of these are smaller than 9. So this would be visible, this would be visible because you would see a 6-story building behind a 1-story building, and then you would see a 9-story building behind a 6-story building. But a 7-story building behind a 9-story building is shorter than the 9-story building. So if you are standing here and looking this way, all of these buildings are shorter than the 9, so you can't see them. They're blocked by the view of this building. Looking from the right, and 4 buildings from the right, you would see the 4, you would see the 5, so these would be visible. The 3 and the 2 are smaller than the 5, so these would be not seen. The 8 would be seen because it's taller than the 5. The 7 would not be seen, it's shorter than the 8. The 9 would be seen, and then these 2 buildings are shorter than the 9. So you'd see the 4, the 5, the 8, and the 9. So you would see a different set of buildings. That's how the Skyscraper rule set works. And we're using it in columns and rows from the different directions based on the clues. So, which are all 3s, which is quite weird. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. And let's see if we can solve this. Let's give this a shot. So, this 3 clue. A 9 clue is always going to be the last building seen because you can't see anything behind a 9. So none of these buildings can be seen by this 3 clue. So we have to see all 3 of these buildings. So this has to be taller than the 4. So this has to be, and it can't be 5. So this is 6, 7, or 8. Now we have to see 3 buildings in this direction. So this is going to have to be a 6, because if this was an 8, we could then see the 9 after it, and then we could, oh no, it could be a 7. But this can't be an 8, because if this was an 8, then we would see 8 and then 9 and then nothing else. So we wouldn't see 3 clues. So this is 6 or 7. Okay. But we're also, there's going to be some, it's the same here. 4, this is 5, 6, 7, it can't be 8. Because it has to, we have to see these 3 buildings. But we've also got 3 in this direction. But 7 and then 8 and then 9 would work. Where else can I do this? Is there anywhere else I can do a trick like that? There's almost certainly something. So we need to see 1 building in here and only 1. because we're going to see the 8. We're not going to see either of these buildings. We're not going to see either of these buildings. This is from this 3 clue. So we're only going to see one building in here, because so this has to be the tallest, the highest digit of these, of these 3. So, but that could just be a 3. So this could go 3, 2, 1. Couldn't it? Couldn't this go 3, 2, 1? Is the question about the 9 in this column? Well, I can never put 9. Oh, okay, here's the thing. I can never put 9 in any of those cells. Right, 9s. Let's ask about 9s. Where can 9s go? I've got a 9 here and a 9 here. Okay, those are 9s. I can't put 9s anywhere that already sees a 9. Right, that's fine. So I can grey out these cells as not being 9s. That's fine. And also these cells. These cannot be 9s. Great, no problem there. But I can't put 9 in the first cells already seen. Well, I can. Let's do boxes as well. That's important. Let's not forget Sudoku. But I can't put 9 in any of these, because if I put 9 here, then this would only be a maximum of 2. Well, let's just select all the digits that also can't be 9. This puzzle is about 9s. This puzzle is definitely about 9s. But if I put a 9 here, I couldn't see anything past it, and this would be a maximum of 2. So 9 is in one of those 2, which means neither of these can be 9, and then 9 is in one of these. But I can't put 9 in either of those. That would block the 3 clue. So this is the 9, and I can mark that as a 9, and then say all of these are not 9. I can't put, I can't put 9 in any of those, because then these wouldn't be 3 clues. They'd be a maximum of 2. So there's no 9 in any of those. That becomes the 9, which means that's not the 9. That's the 9. This becomes grey. I'm going to continue with my colouring because I'm not going for speed here. I'm just trying to understand it. These are not 9. I can't put a 9 here because that would make this a 2 clue. So 9 in this row is in one of those 2, and that's not a 9. And 9 is in one of those 2. But 9 can't go here because of the 3 clue here, so this isn't a 9. So 9 is in one of those 2, which means this is not a 9. And I can't put 9 here because that would break this 3 clue. There's no 9 here. This is a 9, which I will for now just mark in yellow, which means this isn't a 9, this is a 9, this is not a 9. And is there any way I can disseminate these? Not that I can see. But that gets me all the way to that, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. So these are strictly increasing to here, but this digit's not going to be seen. So I've already got my 3. I have to see this digit. So these have to, right. Yes. This 9 trick has helped because I'm seeing this 4. There's no way I can not see this 8. And there's no way I can not see this 9. So going down, they're the digits I'm seeing. So I can't see these digits. If this was higher than 4, I'd see the building here, a building here, a building here, and a building here. These have to be from 1, 2, 3. That's cool. I can't see this building, but that's less restrictive, but these had to be from 1, 2, 3. Now I have to see 3 buildings in here, but if this is a high, that's fine. I have to see 3 buildings along here. I'm definitely seeing this. That's not it. I'm seeing 3 buildings along here. I'm definitely seeing this building. So but this could be high, and then this could be higher. Like I could go 7, 8, 9 along here, maybe. Huh. I'm definitely seeing that building and that building in this direction, and I'm seeing one more in here. I'm not very good at Skyscraper, am I? So The 7 in here is going to be the only building I see. Right, I have to see the 7 in this row. There's nothing I can do to not see the 7 in that row. Wherever I put the 7 is going to be the building I see. And the 7 has to go in one of those. So if I was to put a 6 in here, I'd see the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 9, and this would be broken. So there's no 6 in there. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I can't put the 7 in there, and there's no 4 there. So these are from 1, 2, 3. If this were... So is it 8s I want to look at now? I don't see how that helps me. I'm not going to see this digit. I'm not going to see this digit. I'm not going to see... So looking up this column, these digits cannot be seen. And the reason those digits cannot be seen is because I have to put 1 of 7 or 8 down here. So these digits cannot be seen. So I'm seeing 2 of the digits down here, but I don't see how I can use that yet. People who do these sorts of puzzles will often practice the common Sudoku types quite a lot. And I've done no practice. Oh, by Sudoku, 4 is in one of those two. Let's look at Sudoku. 5 is right here by Sudoku. I forgot my Sudoku. 4 is in one of those two by Sudoku. 8 is not in any of those. 8 is in one of those two by Sudoku. That's a 2 by Sudoku. Which means there's no 2 in those. Yeah, I could have removed it from that. 4 is in one of those two, but it's not there. So that's a 4. So going up here, I'm seeing that, but not that. Which puts 4 in one of those two. Five is in one of those two. These are not going to get seen. The 5, the 2, and the 4 are not going to get seen. But if I put an 8 or a 7 in here, or if I put the 8 in this column is definitely going to be seen. It has to be, because the 8 is before the 9. So the 8 going up here is definitely going to be seen. So I can't put the 8 here, but I couldn't buy Sudoku anyway. But if I put the 8 here, I'll see that, that, and that. And I'm not going to see the 7 if I put the 7 behind the 8. This is the thing with Skyscraper that breaks my brain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are, well, 6 is in one of those two by Sudoku. These are 1, 3, 6, and 7. And I know in here, this ends here. None of these are seen in this direction. These are 1, 3, 6, and 7. And if I put a 6 or a 7 in here, these will have to be lower than 6 or 7. Which means that they could be. It would mean that would be the 8. Which I think would be fine. Like there might be something going on with these, because these are 1, 3, 6, and 7. So, and it's going in this direction. These are not seen. So we see that, that, and that. Right, that's just done. But if we go in this direction, wherever the 8 is, well, there's no 7 in those. So there's a 7 in one of those two. So we're seeing the 5 and we're seeing the 7. So this can't be an 8. Because we're definitely seeing the 5. We're seeing the 7 behind the 5. If this was an 8, we'd see the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 9. That is not the 8. This is the 8. Which puts 8 there by Sudoku. Right. And 7 is in one of these 3. But how are we doing this now? I'm seeing 5, 7, and 9. And these are just, yeah, these are from, well, what's this now? It can't be 1, 2. Could be 3, 4. Can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is only 3 or 4. Now we've got 3 going up here. We're seeing the 9. We're not going to see the 8. We're not going to see the 1. We're going to see the 6 in here. So we're going to see the 6 here, the 8 here, and the 9 here. So whichever one of these is... no, that's not true. I don't need to put a 6 here. No, I do need to put a 6 here. If I don't put a 6 here, I'm going to see the 3 here, the 4 here, the 5 here, the 8 here, and the 9 here. And that doesn't work. I need to put a 6 in here. So there's no 6 in here. Because if I don't, I'd see the 3, then I'd see the 4, then I'd see the 5, then I'd see the 8, then I'd see the 9. The 3 would be broken. There must be a 6 in here. And now I don't see the 4 or the 5. I see the 6, the 8, and then the 9. So these are from 1, 3, and 9. And that gives me a 1, 3, 9 triple, making that the 4. So there's no 4 in those. So 4 is in one of those two. But hang on, didn't I have 4 pencil marked in a different way? No, I didn't. That's 4. That's not 4. 4 is in one of those two. Okay. Now, but if these are 1, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those. So these are 6 and 8. And I'm going to see the 8. Whichever order that goes in, it's done. Let's mark off clues that are done. This is done. Whichever order the 6 and the 8 are in, I'm going to see the 2, the 8. No. It isn't done. If this was the 6, I'd see 2, 6, 8, 9, and that'd be broken. That's the 8. That's the 6. Now I'm only seeing 3. So I have to pay more attention. This has to be lower than 7, but it's going to be now because of that. This is 1, 3, or 4 only. Now, which other clues are done? I'm seeing the 5. Right. No. I can only see 3. So if this is a 6, the 7 would be after it, and that would be a problem. I'd see the 5, I'd see the 6, I'd see the 7, and then I'd see the 9. This can't be the 6. This is the 6. So I'm going to see the 5, the 7. So these are 1, 3, 7. I'm going to see the 5, I'm going to see the 7, and then I'm going to see the 9. I'm starting to understand how to use these. This is done. I'm going to see the 6, the 8, and the 9 over here. This is actually done by pencil marks. I'm going to see the 5, the 7, and the 9. This is actually done by pencil marks. I'm starting to understand. I've still got a lot more to go, though. I'm not very good at this. Okay, so there's a 7 down here. And with the 8 there, this has to be the 7. If this is the 7, it'll be 7, something not seen, and 9. So that's the 7. And these are from 1, 2, 3, 6. And whichever way this goes, that's going to work. This is going to see 3 digits. But I could just see, I am going to see that digit. But this could be 6, 7, 9. And that could just, no, it can't be. Ooh, because of that there. In fact, this 6, 7 is probably doing something now because I need a digit higher. So there has to be a 7, an 8, or a 9 in there. how's this going to work? If I'm not sure I can put a 6 or a 7 in there. This can't be a 7. If this was a 7, I'd see the 5. These would all be lower than 5 because they can't be 6, 7, 8, 9. But this, I'd see the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 9, and I'd be seeing 4. That's the 7. Now I'm seeing 7 and 9, and there's no way of blocking the 7. And I'm definitely seeing that digit. So these are 3, 4, 5. There's no 4 there, but this has to be the 5. If this was a 3, I'd be seeing the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 9. This is the 5. And this is a 3, 4. That means this isn't a 5. This column is definitely going to be interesting. I get the feeling this has to be a 1, 2, or 3, and the 9 is going to be here, but I haven't quite proved it. The 3 in this direction is also going to be interesting. I can only see, if this was a 1, I would see one of the other digits here. Yeah, this can't be a 1. If this is a 1, I'd see 1, something in here before the 8, and I'd see 4 digits. The same is true with 2. I couldn't make both of these hidden. They'd both have to be 1. So this can't be 2, but I could go 3, 2, 1, 8. So this could be a 3. This, yeah, hang on. This has to be the 6. It's the same logic. I'm just missing it. If this wasn't the 6, I would see 1, 3, I'd then see the 6, I'd then see the 8, I'd then see the 9. This is the 6. I'm missing this completely. It's not true here because I could go 5, hide the 1, 3, and then 7, or 5, 7, and then hide the 1, 3. It's not quite as true here, but the 6 is looking down, making that the 3, taking 3 out of these, and I'm seeing 4, 8, 9. So this 3 at the top is done. This is going to, yeah, and down here I'm seeing 3, 7, 9. That is done. Now, in this row, this is a 3. I'm going to see the 3. I'm then going to see the 8. I'm then going to see the 9. I can't see any of these. This has to be a 1, 2. And the 2 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 8. This is cool. I've got to see 3 digits in here and I can't see this. This has to go 7, 8, 9. If this was a 6, I'd see 7. I wouldn't see any of those. I'd see the 9 and I'd never get to 3. That's the 8. That's the 6. And this is done. Now, I'm seeing the 2 and the 5, and I need to see one more digit in here. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that because they're lower. This has to be higher than 5. That's the 7 now. And I'm seeing 2, 7, 9. And this is done. This one, I'm seeing the 1, I'm seeing the 8, I'm seeing the 9. This is done. 3, 8, 9, this is done because this is a 6 or a 7, which is lower than the 8. This is going to be done however it is because the 6 and the 7, I'm just going to see between the 4 and the 9. This column, I'm going to see the 5. I'm not going to see the 3, 4, 2. I'm going to see the 7. I'm not going to see the 6, and then I'm going to see the 9. That column is done. If this was a 7, I would need to see another digit in here. And that doesn't work because I'd need to see 7 and I couldn't put an 8 between them. So I'd see the 7 and then the 9, and this would only be a 2. That's a 6, and there must be a 7 in one of those two, and it's not there. That's the 7. And now this clue is done. I'm starting to remember how to solve skyscrapers, but I'm still not good at it. This is not a 4 because of that. And I'm seeing 6, 7, and 9, and this 3 clue is done, but this makes this a 7. So this is 7. None of those are going to be seen. But this could still be the 9. I could go 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9. That works in either direction. Okay, I need to look somewhere else. I'm definitely seeing the 8 and the 9 and the 5 here. Yeah, I've seen this 5. I'm definitely going to see the 8 because these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no 4 there. So I'm not seeing any of those. So I'm seeing the 5, the 8, and the 9. I'm not seeing any of those. Yeah, this is just 1, 2, 3, 4 by Sudoku. Cool. The 7 here is looking at making this the 6. So this 3 clue is done. I could probably do more in this box, right? 1, 2, I need to put a 3 in here. Okay, that could go anywhere. 5 is in one of those two. Yep. 6, 7. This is a 5, 7 pair. So these are 3 and 8 by Sudoku, which makes that the 1 and that the 3, taking 3 out of both of those. So this is 4, 1. This is 3, taking 3 out of all of, well, it has taken 3 out of that cell, but 3 out of those. The 4 makes that the 3, so that's the 2, that's the 4. There's no 4 there, so that's the 4. And that's a 1, 2 pair, making that a 1, 2 pair. I've still got to think about this 3. I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing that. Right. I'm definitely going to see a 9 over here. If this was a 3, I would see that, and then I would see something higher than the 3. But I'd then still see the 9. So if this was 1, 3, 5, or 7, I'd have to see the 8 and the 9 here. If this isn't the 8, I'm going to see way too many digits. This has to be the 8 because I have to see that, and then the 9. If this was a 3, I'd see the 1, I'd see the 3, I'd see the 5 and the 7. If this was a 5, I'd see the 5, the 6, and then the 8 and the 9. I'd see, if it was even a 7, I'd see 1, 3, 7, and then I'd see the 8 and the 9 over here, or maybe not the 8, but I'd see the 1, 3, 7, 9, and it's still more than 3. This had to be the 8, this had to be the 3. 1 and 2 are both up here, by the way, because I can't put 1, 2 in those or in those. So 1 and 2 are up here without there being a 2 here. That's cool, but I like this one. And now this is done because I'm not going to see anything between that and the 9. So this clue here is actually done. Didn't do enough Sudoku. This is not news for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 7 go into the, oh, this is a 3, 7 pair. And the 3 is making that the 7 and that the 3, which makes that the 5 and that the 7. And I'm broken. This is completely broken. Because I'm seeing that, and that. This is wrong. And I don't know where I went wrong. Because I thought all of that was good. It's got to be wrong here still. So where, because all of this is still wrong. I must have made a mistake down here somewhere. I must have made a mistake in box 9. Like, this has still got to be wrong. No, it's not. Okay, so where did I go wrong? So I've made a mistake in here. Was that 6 what made the mistake? No. I'm using this to find out where I went wrong, and then I'm going to try and... So it's saying this is wrong. But the 6 here is correct. But when I place that 7, I'm wrong. So this is still correct. Oh, no. That's where I went wrong. I'm seeing the 2, I'm seeing the 5. I can't see a 7 here because I'm seeing the 2, I'm seeing the 5. If there was a 7 here, I'd see 2, 5, 7, 9, and I'd be seeing 4. There's no 7 there. There is a 7 there. And this is a 1, 3. That's where I went wrong. And here I'm seeing 1, 8, 9. So, right, I did that one backwards. I did this one here, I did backwards. That's where I went wrong. I'm sure people were yelling at me, and they were doing it quite rightly. Okay, so starting again from there. All this did was prove to me where I went wrong, and I don't mind using the tool for that because now I need to start again and try and figure out where I did. So this is 6 or 7. Now, in this direction, I'm seeing 3, 8, and 9. That's done, so I can mark this clue off. I'm still happy with that. Here, I'm going to see 5, 7, and then 9. I'm still happy with marking that one off. Now, can I use the same logic here again? If this was 7, I'd need to see one more digit in here, and I can't. So this has to be the 6, this has to be the 7, and I must see a 7 in there because I can't see an 8. And the 7 is not there, that's the 7. I'm still happy with that because these are now 2, 3, 4. There's no 4 there, and this clue here is done. This clue is done because I'm going to see the 7, the 8, and whichever one of those two is the 9. So I can mark this clue as done. Here I'm going to see the 4, the 7, and the 9. This clue is done. There is definitely a 6 in one of these two, and I'm not going to see either of those two. Now, if the 6 was here, I would see the 6. I then wouldn't see any other digits, and then I'd see the 9. So I can't put the 6 here. 6 here, I'd need to see something else in here, but these would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd only see 2. This is the 6. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's no 4 in either of those. There's no 2 there. So I'm going to see this, this, and then this. There was something else I did in these columns to resolve it, and I can't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. I fixed up my 7 problem and I'm moving on. 1, 2, 3, 5 goes into those, which means these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there's no 6 there. But I do have to do 3 going down here. So these have to increase. Well, I'm going to see the 8 in one of these. This can't go 6, 7, 8. So if this was a 7, I'd see 7 and then wherever the 8 is. 7, 6, 8 works. If this is 6, this has to be 8. Yeah, I'm not sure I can actually resolve that. It just means this can't... Yeah, I'm not sure I can resolve that. Okay. But maybe... I am seeing that. Yeah, these are different now. But if this wasn't an 8, I'd see this, I'd see the 7, I'd see wherever the... No, I could hide the 8 behind the 9. So I could see 1, 7, 9, and I'd be okay. So no, that's not actually true anymore. Aha! I found the flaw. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this? The flaw. Let's see. Okay, now... I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this. So this 3 clue is done. This 3 clue is not done. I'm seeing this digit. I'm not seeing... I am seeing this, aren't I? Oh, maybe not. This could be a 1-3 pair. And I could go 4, 1, 3, 2. No, this can't be a 1-3 pair. No, it could be a... If this was a... Oh, hang on. I have to see this digit. Because these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? No, they're not. They're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And there must be an 8 in them and not here. There's no 5 here. 5 is in one of those two. And there's no 1 in those. So this is 2, 3, or 8. And it's not 2. It's 3 or 8. But if this is 3, this is 1. This becomes not... Right. If this is 3, this is 1. I wouldn't see any of those, but the 3, 1 would make that 9, and I'd see 4 and 9 only, and this wouldn't be a 3 clue. That can't be a 3. That is the 8. That is cool, which puts 8 in one of those two. And therefore, no, that's okay. Does 8 have to be here? No, as long as this digit is higher than this, 8 could be here. But now I see 4, I see 8, and then I see wherever the 9 is. So this clue is done. I'm really annoyed that I got this 7 clue backwards. So I need to look at these. I'm seeing the 8 and I'm seeing the 9. So I can only see one of these digits, and I'm definitely seeing this. So this has to be higher than 5. This is 6, 7, only 6 or 7. Because I have to see that. So that gives me a 6, 7 pair. I have to see that and not see that. So I have to see this, this, and this. So that's a 6, 7 pair. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1, 2, 3. I'm not getting... So this is 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. Could I hide the digits down to there? Well, these would all have to be 1, 2, 3. It might be possible. Except there's an 8 in there, which does mean that it's going to hide. I think that does work, you know. Might be broken here. Actually, it's one of these, isn't it? Because I'm seeing that and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that and I'm seeing that. So I can't see any of these. So, for example, this has to be lower than this. No, I'm not fully grokking. Sudoku. Let's pay some more attention to Sudoku and hope this will get me out of it. I need to put a 7 in one of those two. I need to put a 7 in one of those 3. That's not it. There's a 6 up here as well. In one of those 2. Okay. If this is an 8, I'm broken. Because I'd see the 9 here, the 8 here, this would be a 7 and this would be a 1, 2. That's not the 8, that's the 8. This is not the 8. And that's going to do some work as well. Because if this was 6, 7, I'd see 6, 7, 8, 9, and this would be a 4. So this is 7 and 6, which makes that the 8. So this clue is done. This clue is done because I'm going to see the 1, 2, the 8, and then wherever the 9 is. So this clue is done. But in here, this can't be a 7 now. If this was a 7, I'd see the 1, 2, the 6, the 7, and the 9. That is not the 7. That's the 7, making that the 4. And now I see the 1, 2, the 6. This has to be lower than 6, but these are all 1, 2, 3, so that works. But this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. Or the 4 is looking down saying that's not the 4, so that's the 4, making that the 3, and that the 4, and that the 1, which says this 1, which means that is not the 1. 1 is in one of those 2. The 7 is looking across, making that the 6, so this isn't the 6. I am going to see that digit. It has to be, yeah, it can't be 1, 2, 3. This is 5, and this is the 7 that hasn't been placed in the row. I'm seeing 7, 8, 9, and this clue is now done. This clue is done because the 8 is always going to be behind whichever one of these is 9. So I'm going to see 7, 6, 7, and 9. So this clue here is done. I'm still not sure this can't be 2, 1, 3, 9 and have see the 2, the 4, and then just that. So I'm still not sure about that. This clue is done now because I'm going to see that, that, and that. So this clue is done. 6, 8, and 9. This clue is done. So it's these 3s at the top. Right, so let's look at this one. I'm seeing the 7 and the 9, so I can't see both of those. So this can't be a 1, or I'd see this digit, this digit, this digit, and this digit. So this can't be a 1. So this is a 1. This is a 2, 3. 1 is in one of those two. This is a 2, 3. If it was 2, I'd see 2, 7, 9, and I'd be fine. 3, 7, 9 is fine as well. Here, I'm seeing 4, 7, and 9. This clue is also done. This clue, I'm seeing 5, 8, and 9 because these are all lower than 5. This clue is done. I need to put a 5 in one of these two cells. Which is not going to be seen. Yeah, this clue is done. So it's only these two clues I haven't done. And I'm seeing that, but I still can't see why I couldn't go like 3, 4, 1, 2, 9. I don't see how it forces this. Is it this column? It has to be, doesn't it? No, because this column is done. I see 1, 2, 3, 8, and then 9. All of these are hidden. So this clue is done. The only one I haven't done is this one. The question is, can these be 1, 2, 3? 9, 5. Oh, hang on. Why did I put 5? No, 5 is in here, making this 3. Right, no, but actually it doesn't do much. These are 1, 2, 5, 9. It doesn't resolve those. What am I missing? Let's do some Sudoku. 3 makes that 1 and that 3. Taking 3 out of those, that's a 3. This is a 1, 9. The 3 takes 3 out of there. It makes that 2, that 3, which makes that 2, that 3. There's no 3 in those. These are 1, 2. These are 3, 5, 9. There's no 5 there. There's no 9 there. Can I take that further? There's no 3 here. This can no longer be 1, 2, 3. This has to be seen. I'm seeing all 3 of those, so that's the 9. That's what I was missing. That's the 3. That's the 5. That's the 1. That's the 9. This clue is now done. I had to do more Sudoku. Tricky stuff. This is the 1. There's no 1 here. The 3 is looking down. No, the 1 is looking up, making that the 2 and that the 1. This 1 is looking across, making that the 2 and that the 1. And now I'll just use the 2 to make that the 5, take the 5 out of those, and I'll use that 2 to make that the 3 and that the 2. And I've still got it wrong? I'd still have it wrong. I've got too many 2s and 3s in rows and boxes. Hopefully that was just a pencil mark error. This is completely and utterly wrong. Arg! I've done pencil mark errors somewhere. This has got to be correct. This is correct. I just did some mistakes here. So 1, it is so easy this far into a puzzle. 3, 2. The 3 looks down, making that 2 and that 3. The 2 takes 2 out of there. 3 comes out of both of those. I find it so easy to get bogged down when this happens. 2 comes out of those. Those become 1, 3. These become 2, 5, 9. And there's no 5 there or 9 there. And this still could be... Well, that's a 1, 3 pair. So this is the 9. Right. It's actually backwards again. It's exactly the same mistake I made down here. This 3 makes this the 1 and this the 3, which makes this the 1 and this the 3, which makes this the 1 and this the 3, which makes this the 1 and this the 3. This isn't a 9. This is the 9. And to resolve this digit has to not be seen, because I'd see 1, 4, 5, and 9, and that would make that a 4 clue. So that's the 2, that's the 5, that's the 2, that's the 5, and that's the correct solution to the puzzle. That was a glorious skyscraper puzzle. I love the way this clue worked to resolve the 2 5s. And this one kept me guessing right until the end, to the point where I'd made some pencil mark errors and just blew my mind. Yeah, I made some mistakes here, but This is why I really like having the solution embedded, because I'm not trying to solve competitively. I'm just trying to understand and learn about the puzzle. If you're trying to solve competitively, don't use that feature. You don't need to. If you are trying to just enjoy the puzzle and figure out, hang on, what did I not understand? Then it's a tool available to you. And I don't feel guilty. Other people use the pencil mark checker. Other people use other features. It's all fine. It's all about being fun. At least that's what I think. So I just want to confirm. We've got 1, 4, and then 9 with 2 and 3 hidden behind the 4. This is good. And then in this column, we've got 2. We don't see the 1. We see the 7, and then we see the 9, and the 8 is hidden. So this one was also good. Yeah. Oh, 3. We see the 2, the 5. We don't see the 4, 1, 3, and then we see the 9. This one is also good. Really, really good stuff. I probably could have used these clues to resolve it a little easier. I thought I had all of these marked, and I didn't. Skyscraper is something that just melts my brain, but it is supposed to be the hardest puzzle. Now, world champions would solve that in like 6 or 7 minutes. I took 40. But even still, I mean, 40 minutes, I think, is only about 3 or 4 times. 6 or 7. Yeah, okay, 5 times. It took me 5 times longer than a world champion. Oh no, what a shame. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm more than fine with that. And I used assistance tools and all sorts of stuff. But it's a thing that I'm not that familiar with. And I'd be curious to know how many people just didn't attempt this puzzle. How many people went for the quicker wins. But there is some information available on the World Puzzle Federation website as to how many points people got, but I don't think it tells you which puzzles they solved. I enjoyed this one. I've solved all of them. It took me a lot longer than 90 minutes, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series. I'm going to try and keep recording these. Yeah, and as always, good luck with your solving.